Holly Gordon was the juror for tonight. She had another obligation that she had to attend, but I wanted to just have a quick conversation about Holly and her relationship with Long Island Photo Gallery. It's been a long one. Since we opened up the brick and mortar in 2012, Holly's been a member of the gallery. She's got an outrageously established reputation as both a fine art photographer, but also as a documentary photographer. She's really created some breakthrough work, her creative fine art photography, nature photography. She's done some environmental photography where she spent some time in the Galapagos Islands, in Antarctica, in China. She was an art teacher for 30 years and has a really strong experience in the arts and also in photography. She, a few years ago, hooked up with a gentleman by the name of Ward. I forget Ward's last name. I should know it because we talk about it all the time.
Cooper.
Yeah, Ward Cooper, yeah, Ward Cooper. And he and her put together this book, well, this was a series of artwork. It's called the Brush Lens Collaboration, a Parallel Perspectives. They actually have a hardcover book that's available on Amazon. And the I found that the collaboration was really quite brilliant because what they did was Ward is a watercolor painter and he had a series of art pieces. And then what Holly did was she went out with her camera and went to the same locations that Ward was at with his watercolor canvas and photographed those scenes, and then came back into her digital darkroom and recreated that scene in the digital world with her, with using Photoshop and the different filters and such with that. And what they came up with was this book called Parallel Perspectives, and her and Ward are getting an amazing uh, kudos out there from the art community with what they've done. They're getting a lot of press. They're selling a lot of books. So if you get an opportunity to check out Holly and Ward's Brush Lens Collaboration, Parallel Perspectives book, it's on Amazon. Go ahead and do that. I think it'll be something that you would enjoy. I know we could also get the book in your hands if you're interested to have that in your art collection, your book collection. So, that's the story of Holly Gordon. We do miss having her with us tonight because she'd always add some color to the events that we do. And but what we're going to do is we're going to hand the computer over to Jess. She's going to share her screen, and we're going to look at all of the pieces that were selected to be inside of this art exhibit. And I have to tell you, the work is just, I don't know, it's outstanding. I kind of wish we could have had some of these pieces printed, but let's take a quick peek with Jessica running a little bit of a share of her computer, and we'll.
Sure, that's fine. Joanne, can you just allow it so I can share?
Oh, I have to allow. So I go here, I go there, more. Oh, here we go.
I know, technology. It's great.
Oh, sorry. I know. Make host. Ta-da.
There we go.
All right. Jessica's driving.
Everybody hold on. All right. So we are in our website, so longislandphotogallery.com. I'm just going to jump onto the exhibit. And now we're able to jump in and see the different pieces. So I'm just going to let us, walk through this. Sorry, I'm just trying to move some windows. There we go. Okay, here we go. I hope everyone can see it. And we will continue.
That's pretty. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Amazing black and white.
Scotland. Wow. Pretty. It's amazing all the different perspectives. That's pretty also. Love the colors in that.
Oops, sorry.
Nice. Wow. Wow. Jones Beach.
Oh, this one's tiny.
Oh, what happened there? Nice. Newport. I love aerial shots. Nice. That's cool. Different.
Unique, yeah.
Yeah, very different. Nice. Hawaii, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I know her.
Hey.
Nice. That was in South Carolina, marshes. Oh, nice. Very cool. Scottish. Looks like the cliffs of Moh. Cool. Nice.
Amazing art all around. Great
I'm
book.
telling you, it's such a really awesome collaboration of work. Great leading lines. That's a great capture. Wow. Olympic Mountains. Love it. Nice. You don't see too many clam boats anymore on Long Island.
No, that's for sure.
Very cool. Great black and white. Cool. Portugal, I was going to say. I thought it looks like Puerto Rico. Pretty. You guys are so talented. Nice. Nice. Awesome shot.
Yeah.
That has to be the
Sorry.
Cliff Moore. That's okay. That's a nice artistic touch to that one as well. I love this shot.
Yeah.
It's very different. Cool.
I know it was definitely hard for Holly to select all these entries because there was just so many to go through. So it was a good challenge for her.
Yeah.
You guys made it hard.
It was a great challenge for her. And I'll tell you, she poured over these for hours and hours and hours and hours. Because we had a good amount of entries come in as well. That's
Yeah.
a cute shot.
So cool.
Nice. Oh, beautiful. Very nice.
Makes me want to go away.
Yeah. Nice California stuff. Beautiful. Very cool. Looks like a little retro.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Very nice. Oh, Jess, that's you. Ooh.
That was.
It was back to the beginning here.
Oh, is it? Yeah, we cycled through. Okay, so that was all the entries that Holly Gordon chose to be in the coastal exhibit. So I'm gonna close this out.
Wait,
I'm
just hold
gonna.
on 1 second. Wait,
Oh,
just,
okay.
just
We'll
remind.
wait.
I want to just remind people how they can get to see the exhibit on their own. So if you go to longislandphotogallery.com and in the navigation, you see online exhibits, the coastal exhibit is right there. If you click on any image, it'll enlarge, and you could tab over, one after the other. Underneath each image is the artist's title, the name of the piece, and the artist's name, and also there's a phone number there if you have any desire to make a purchase or to reach out and learn more about the print or about what inspired the photographer to capture that scene and to enter it even into the exhibit. So just want to make sure you have that. I think what you could do maybe is copy that link and throw it into the chat, so if folks want it, they could grab it a little bit easier. But yeah, I know we have a good amount of the photographers that are actually in the show that are on the Zoom meeting with us. If anybody wants to step forward, raise their hand, I guess, and maybe talk about your piece, we could do some of that as well. We really love to hear your perspective on how you what brought you to that moment where you actually put the camera up and took the shot. So if anybody wants to volunteer their perspective so we could take another look at your art, we'd be happy to do that. I don't know if you know how to raise your hands, but it's part of the tools there in Zoom land. All right, Jess, I guess we'll move on to
Everyone wants to know who's winning. That's what they're here for.
They want to know who's winning. Yeah, but we also we have a hand there. There's Andrew.
We have a
Hey,
hand.
Andy, how are you?
All right.
Let me unmute you.
Okay, yeah, hi. I don't know if I'm on video. I do Zoom professionally, but not for photography, but I'm not an expert at this by any stretch. Do you hear me? Do you see me?
Yes, we do. We see,
We see you, we hear you.
Well, I mean, since nobody raised their hands, I'm actually in a place that I took a shot, which is not in the, I mean, I have two shots here, the one from Sky and the one from Seward.
Yeah.
But there's a shot that I really, really, really like that I probably should have sent to the coastal that you guys have in your national parks. And it's a shot from one of the beaches on the Olympic Peninsula, which is where I am with my family. This is my wife sitting next to me.
I'm so
But anyway, so to this shot, and I guess the story is, with me, it's always the same. I've been doing photography. I'm 60 years old. I've been doing photography since I was about 15 or so. Never professionally, but I certainly have kind of a semi-professional aspect to myself, if one can call it that. I've been in various print media. I've been in galleries, so I do know my way around a camera. I'm not a professional though. But the reason I say that is the opportunities I have for photography is essentially what my wife and my family are doing now. We go on vacations. I don't live in Skye. I'd love to. It's gorgeous. And this is what I call kind of a drive-by shooting. I mean, we're just driving on the coast of Skye. This was taken, I think, 2 years ago, right, when we were there?
Yeah.
Or 2016.
Yeah.
2016. And I'm always at the ready. I always have my tripod, always have my camera. My wife is extremely patient because, as you guys know and all photographers know, it's not just getting out of the car and going click. You have to position yourself. You have to kind of wander around a little bit. You have to get the feel of a place. And I was very lucky. This is a very famous landmark in Skye. I mean, this is not something which is hard to get to. It's about 1,000 feet off the highway that goes by there. You go to a parking lot, and you do have to walk around a little bit to get this particular spot. Because if you move around a little, if I shift to the left, there are a couple of garbage cans standing over there. If you shift to the right, there are lots of people looking down and doing other things. So you have to get the right composition. And this is one of my favorite shots from the trip. I mean, it shows kind of a little bit of the mystical quality of light that you get on the Isle of Skye. But I guess the deeper story is what I started out with, that for me, it's chance encounters. I try to make the best of the limited time I have. I mean, I'm behind a desk. I'm a physicist by day, so I work with equations and computer code. But when I have an opportunity to walk around with my camera, I try to make the best of it. This is an example. The other shot is a similar thing. This is a trip we took.
Andy, hold on one second.
Yep.
Jess, if you
Yep,
could just
I'm
click
going.
back. I would never have guessed that if you walked 10 paces to the left, that there would be garbage cans. I mean, this looks like some pristine location, some just very...
Well, photographers, or non-photographers, I should say, or maybe I should just say what I want to say. Photography, unlike what some people may intuitively think, is the art of finding what's in the view frame or the viewfinder. That's right. As a first cut, that's a correct statement. But on a deeper level, it's a combination of what you want to include, but a very mindful, very deliberate process of excluding things that take away from what you're trying to have your image communicate to somebody, whether in a print, on a computer screen, or whatever. So you have to pay at least as much attention to what to exclude as you do to what you include in the frame. And some people that are not photographers, they miss that part. So yeah, that's a perfect example of it. And literally, if you go a little to the left, there's a little walkway. It's kind of ugly. There are lots of papers there. So there you go.
I'm laughing because somebody put a question. They asked if I was your Sherpa.
Well, my wife is my muse. And,
I'm a Sherpa, yeah, sometimes.
My wife has, if nothing else, infinite patience. So the second shot, if you go to the Seward, same exact thing. I mean, this is just chance. My wife set up a wonderful little day trip out of Seward. So we went, in fact, you could probably describe it. I don't remember the trip so much as I remember that shot. You remember, where did we go? It was just a day trip around.
Was that on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was actually, it was an extended excursion. It was like a 6-hour tour of the fjords.
Yeah.
Which I have to tell you, if you go, that was quite a long day. It was beautiful because you see the inner fjords and, you pass harbor seals, and it was very scenic. And
we're just standing on deck looking at all the sights. I mean, lots of sea life, lots of landscape, both in front and in the background. This is one of maybe 30 shots I took that I kind of like, because as you might imagine, underwater, it's kind of hard to get some frontal element. And I was just lucky enough that the surf had washed up on the rocks that you see in the lower left. And it gives a little bit of something to focus on in the front, and the eye kind of sweeps up. And then is rewarded with this wonderful jaggedy rock face that you see there. It's about 100 feet tall. And then you have this wonderful little glow that was helped with the polarizer, and the black and white just seemed a good thing to do here, because there's really very little color to begin with. I mean, the whole focus is on the dynamics of the water and that wonderful sculpture that you see on the left-hand side. But just a shot, literally just sitting around and enjoying the vacation, but trying to make the most of it. And that's when I enjoy myself most. So as we're sitting here, my wife and I, we're literally in the same place that we were 2 years ago, as I said at the outset, that another shot, not in this particular exhibit, but that you guys have for your national landscapes. And we're enjoying another vacation. We're about halfway through. So I'm getting a little bit more of a portfolio. And I'm delighted that these two were chosen for what really looks like a great selection of photos. I mean, we're just sitting here and admiring all the images. They're all stellar.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be part of this. So kudos to you guys.
Love to have it. Love to have you in
Well,
there.
congrats to you.
And,
Yeah,
you know, just like you can go to the coastal exhibit, the National Parks is also in permanent display on the website as well,
right here.
right there.
I
Okay.
gotta say, I was actually at the Olympic Peninsula as well, and that land
Ooh.
is magical. So I could just
Oh, yeah.
imagine with be there, you know, a second time or however many times you've
Yep.
been there. It's beautiful. Everyone should go there.
If you ever do a portfolio of the actual photographers and people with them taking pictures of them, you're going to have a fun one too.
I
Yeah.
know
I
my
have a
husband's
few of
on
him,
this,
bent over, and so I'm curious to hear everyone else's perspective as they talk about their pictures too.
Yeah, somehow you always get wet though.
Okay,
True.
I'm going to unmute myself. I don't
Okay,
do that.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I've been
Right.
responding to a bunch of folks that are just joining us because the link was broken. I wish I had known that earlier. So I want to welcome in the
Welcome,
Keith
welcome.
and Mary and Fran. Sorry you guys had some hiccups getting on to the Zoom meeting. We are recording it, so not to worry, you haven't missed a thing.
What
Okay.
we are doing, we are allowing all artists to be able to talk about their art, their experience and so on when they were taking that shot that made it into this exhibit. So if you're one of those new artists that just jumped in and you want to share, raise your little hand through.
Looks like Liza
through
Day
Zoom.
has got her hand
Yep.
up. We can unmute you, Liza. Let me see if I could do that. There she is.
Oh, good.
How are
Okay.
you?
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Okay. Almost didn't make it tonight because I managed to slit my finger open today, but that's
Ooh.
a whole other story.
I hope it's not your shutter
Question was
finger.
reception or urgent care.
Oh boy.
But anyway, my photo, which is the one
I'm
of
just gonna.
not that one. No, it's Atlantic City, the lifeguard shack.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, all the back of the lifeguard shacks.
Oh, this one, yeah. No,
No,
just
the
kidding.
sepia one with the
down
lifeguard shack.
This.
right here. There we go.
Yes.
Yes, there we
What
go.
up?
A lot of what Andrew was saying really struck me, and I'm kind of at that point where I guess you call me a semi-professional photographer, but I'm trying to go professional. It's a matter of financing and stuff, but like him, a lot of what I shoot, it's very hard to kind of divide a line between when I am on a trip to shoot and when I'm going someplace that I want to be, and so I'm shooting. It's very much an overlap. Anytime I'm any place, I'm shooting usually. So
So you're
and-
talking about like if you're on vacation?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a day trip or something like that. Yeah. And it's funny the question about the in the chat about the Sherpa, because yes, I usually sometimes I used to go places with my mom. She's passed away, and she'd be my Sherpa, and other times my friends are my Sherpas. As a matter of fact, one of them is here. And she's used to me handing her things and saying, "Here, hold this."
That's great.
But this was Atlantic City. I spend a lot of time at different beach areas. My great love is Fire Island. But I also for years would always go every summer at the end of the summer to Atlantic City with my mom. It was a regular trip that I took for a day trip. And this is, for years I had been noticing this lifeguard shack that's down near the far end of the boardwalk, down near the showboat. When the showboat was there, if you know the boardwalk, and it had always fascinated me. And I kind of had taken a couple of shots at it once, but I was kind of in the middle of doing other things, so like I kind of wasn't working it. But then one of the trips I really was working a lot on this because it had always fascinated me. It just seemed so quintessential shoreline beach.
Yeah.
In the East Coast particularly. I don't know the West Coast beaches so much, but this really spoke to me of Jersey Shore or Long Island Shore, though I'd never really seen a lifeguard shack that was just set up like this anywhere else that I had been.
Yeah, it's huge, first of all.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about this shot is that underneath the boardwalk, I guess, you have that little rowboat there that says Atlantic City, so it kind of just labels exactly where the shot was taken, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah, but that's good. That's one of the great tricks in photography. If you can get some signage in there that pulls in the scene, that's a great way, in a subtle way, which you did. That's very cool. Why did you
like
convert to sepia in this shot?
What?
Why did you convert the scene to a sepia?
When I brought it home, I do have a copy of it in color. I have a copy of it in black and white. I usually play around with it and see which way I like it.
Mhm.
This just really spoke to me in the sepia. It seemed to carry that vintage, classic East Coast beach feel. And it doesn't exactly show on the screen, but also I'd added a lot of granularity to it to add to like sort of the vintage feel. I do have a black and white that I like of it. But just it really does speak to me in the sepia much more so. It
Nice.
just, it brought out the colors and the contrast better than the black and white did, I felt.
Nice.
It made it pop more.
Yeah, it's a great shot. I like the way you kind of you utilized, you filled the frame, but you also left some space off there to the left to kind of give us the feel of the ocean nearby. Again, putting that or, maybe perchance, I don't know how you position yourself, purposefully or not, having the rowboat, the ocean rowboat underneath there with Atlantic City across the side of it is great. And interesting to throw it into sepia, especially when it comes to a beach scene, right? Beach scenes are sometimes you want to see the blues and the vibrancy of the sky, but nicely done. And Liza, I know we kept calling you Lisa.
Liz, yeah.
Liz, so
that's okay. Growing up, my best friend was Lisa. So and
thank you for participating. We really do
Thank you.
appreciate having you in the exhibit and raising your hand, which that's brave. It's brave. I think we're going to pass the mic over to Michael Alenko, hi Michael. How are you? I need your audio's
Can't
not
hear you.
working. Let's see if we can get
Let's
it.
try that. How's that?
There he is.
Much
How
better.
are you?
I'm just fine.
Hi.
Thank you.
Where are you that you're outside with your phone?
Let's see. I am on. I got waylaid on my way home for the meeting, so I pulled over at a local park, and on my iPhone joining in.
Nice.
So you see a big tree behind me. I think that's just part of the park.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Oh, this is the beautiful shot. Yeah.
So let me just say that it's an honor to be included in the exhibition. My first time in a gallery in New York, and that's great. I've been in lots of shows around the country, so being in New York is nice. That's not a sound effect. That's a raven in the background going crazy.
That's great.
I live on a small island, a ferry-only island in the state of Washington,
Nice.
located in the Salish Sea between Seattle and Tacoma, so Vashon Island, and that's where both of these shots were taken. And
I'm so jealous.
so the first one that we're looking at, the Great Blue Heron, about a couple of years ago, we had a week of smoky skies. Those big fires in Canada that blew south and made breathing and most things pretty uncomfortable for quite a while until the winds picked up and blew it all away. But it made photography kind of interesting in that some of the sunsets were exaggerated, and the red and above the sun you could see clearly filter through the smoke.
Yeah.
And much in a similar way, going down to the water, which is pretty close to my home, to see blue heron landing elegantly with the kind of the sepia tinged skies caused by the smoke was an irresistible setting, really, for making the photograph. Blue herons are highly photogenic anyway, and they're big, so they're pretty friendly to cameras. They fill up the frame pretty well. So that was pretty much the making of this shot. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Well, what I love about this, again, the negative space and the way this bird is positioned in the frame is just perfect. And having, you know, the bird's wings being spread out that way just looks, it just invites me in. It's one of those amazing shots. The light hitting the back of the bird's back, that little bit of halo, if you will, around the edges of the bird's physical body. It's just a stellar shot. It's really great. Congratulations on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfectly minimalistic. I mean, it's beautiful. Beautiful. One of a kind. The way the coloring is, the details, the water is just phenomenal. So good job.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
like,
much. Yeah.
Opportunity.
when people talk about, photography, is it really art? And, this is, like, Jessica, you just landed on it. It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Like, you'll
One of a
never
kind.
be able to duplicate this shot if you tried a million times over for the rest of your life. It's a one of a kind. Yeah, it's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Well, unless there's another fire in Canada and you just happen to go down to the
Yeah.
water again. You just never know. Hey.
Yeah, so somebody asked a question about the lens I used. The camera I used for this was a Canon 5D Mark III, and I believe the lens was a Tamron 150 to 600
Nice.
millimeter, one of those newer super zoom kind of things that let you keep a respectful distance from wildlife. So that any other questions, feel free to ask about that.
That's great.
Excellent. Well,
Really
thank
great.
you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's
Thank
see
you.
that, Jess. Let's go off to the second one, the next one.
What? Oh,
Uh,
is there? Yeah, I'm
Did
sorry.
you, Mike, have a second one?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
there-
you did.
there we
Sorry,
go.
my
I
bad.
love this.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so look
absolutely
at
beautiful.
the depth of this is just amazing.
Yeah, so this is a block away from our home where the taxes are much higher. And this is a view directly west of to the Olympic Mountains, and there's a Kitsap Peninsula that we're seeing. And I've been photography is my second language. I've been doing this at least 50 years, and which makes me to be about 85 or 90 years old. But anyway, and I read the weather first thing in the morning. I just read the weather and see what's happening with movement of sky and clouds. And I noticed that there was a fog, which is not super unusual when you live in an island, but the fog was rising and there was sun that was starting to poke out. And I knew that at a certain point in the morning, like within an hour, enough of that would make a neat view to the west. So I gathered my gear and walked the half a block to a great lookout on this piece of property. And lo and behold, exercised a little bit of patience, which is an important thing for photography, as well as luck. And just set up and frame the shots. We're also seeing a ferry dock from Southworth, which is a small community on the Kitsap Peninsula, and there's a ferry that runs from there to Vashon Island, where I live regularly.
Yeah.
So it was just the light was shining just right in the morning, coming from the east, looking west, and it all came together.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love the clouds, sitting in the valley, in the clouds kind of separating the trees from the mountain range. Just beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
Lot of layers.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this. It's just like, again, the boat coming in from the lower right-hand corner, brings you in, and then the shoreline takes you back around and then back to the top of the trees and then across the mountain. So it's just this light, nice zigzag where the eye can follow through the scene, which is really cool. Really great
Thank
shot.
you. Yeah. Irresistible.
Yeah.
Good.
You found the magic of the day.
Congratulations. That's a wonderful
Oh,
shot.
thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Any other hands
right.
up in the room?
I see Keith is looking to share.
Where's
It's just a
Keith?
matter
Where
of
is he?
finding Keith. Sorry. I'm just...
Can you hear me now?
I can
Oh
hear
yeah,
you, Keith.
we can
There
hear
you are.
you. Hello.
Hello.
Is that Roz in the back? Hi, Roz. How are you?
I've been stressed trying to get in tonight. For some reason, the link wasn't working on either computer, the iPhones.
No, it was there was a couple of folks that had an issue, but I've been monitoring emails and trying to get you all in one by one. So far so good.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
There we
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Go
sorry,
back.
my bad.
No.
There we are.
Absolutely love this is such a pretty.
We were when I took this shot, we were actually visiting our kids in Sarasota, Florida. I call this an imagined Riviera, but it's not the Riviera. In my mind, it was, but actually, it's Fort Lauderdale Beach. We tried to hook up with a friend of ours, and that was about halfway between where she lived and where we were visiting our kids. And we walked along the beach, the three of us. And when I took the picture, when I got back and looked at it, it wasn't crazy about it. I played around with it. I cropped it in different ways, and I still wasn't crazy about it. Certainly not to enter it anywhere. So something I've been working on recently, in the past several months, is using some filters. And I actually use several filters from Topaz. I don't know if anyone uses that program. I just bought it this year. And I went to where it's called Impressionistic. I played around with different brush strokes, and I came up with something that I really liked. However, when I was going to submit to this, I had about 7 coastal pictures that I really liked. And I feel that I've entered a lot of contests this past year or two, and I feel I always have problem deciding on what to submit. You don't know what the judge wants. Everyone looks at things differently. Yeah. So what I did this time, for the first time, I emailed all 7 photos to 10 people. Some were photographers, some were artists, and some were just friends or family. And I said, which 5 would you pick? Which one? And please listen to the order in the way you like them. And this one, it was the only photo that actually several people did not want me to submit. It was actually, it got the highest number of don't submit. But I liked it. I really liked it. So I decided I'm going with my gut. And I thought I had some really good coastal photos, and this was the only one chosen. So I'm glad I submitted it. And I'm real happy with this particular filter. I've been trying other filters now. It really depends on the type of background that you have. The filters don't look the same on every photograph.
Well, the pop of yellow in the center of this frame really brings it all together for me. Again, just a little poof of grass off to the left. It brings my eye back to that middle, that bright yellow. I do love the use of filter in this, and the way you did use the filters. I can easily see this print in a large, like a 40 by 60, in the lobby of a hospital or a lawyer's office or something like that. I mean, it's just very soothing and very welcoming. And it's intriguing the way you added the artistry of the filters to the scene and to the original digital file. I think it's brilliant. I love it. I love it.
Looking forward to seeing it in some hospitals someday.
We're working on. We got a couple of them that we're working on. So
Okay.
Not as a patient.
Yeah, not as a patient. I agree.
No, not as a patient.
Keith, it was just the one that made it in?
I'm sorry, Rosa.
Yes.
It was just one that made it? Okay.
I'm
Right,
not.
because the next
Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
All right, let's
very
see.
good.
Is there anyone else? Oh, we have, yep. Let me see, can I unmute you?
Hi.
Oh, you're unmute. Yeah.
Hi,
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for entering into the coastal exhibit. Let me just jump in here.
Thank you guys for
including me.
Oh,
Of course.
It's pretty exciting. I have known about your gallery, but I never really thought to enter any of my pictures.
Yeah,
And
it's fun.
I love it. I love seeing everybody, like how different everybody shoots. I think it's so unique and so many different perspectives.
yeah. It is amazing. I mean, I'm always amazed when we do an open call and we throw these themes out, the variety, the interpretation of the themes. I'm always amazed at what you guys and gals come back with. And this exhibit just blew me away. It's like, wow, this is great too. So now this is where? This is in Portugal,
This is actually in California.
California.
It's Laguna Beach. They have this Victoria Beach section, and it's an old pirates tower. I actually am a wedding photographer, and that's how I started. And one of my clients, they lived in California, so I went there to go do their engagement shoot, and that's kind of how I started getting a lot of my landscape photos, is just going on little adventures with my clients and seeing, you know, the client actually picked out this location, but it's one of my favorite beaches. And I don't know what happened, but I felt like the stars just aligned that day. Like, you know, when you're not expecting, you're like, okay, the weather should be nice. I don't know what the clouds are going to look like, but all of a sudden the colors that came out, everything was just like cotton candy skies, and like every different shade of pinks and blues and yellows and oranges all came out. The waves are crashing, and it was just the most perfect. It was the most perfect day. But I go there and I'm taking their pictures, and I was like, no, we have to stay and get some of these magical pirate tower pictures. But yeah, it was like, it's just so cool to go on these adventures, and you're kind of like walking around the cliffs, and I really enjoy doing that. And I've always had a very soft style to my photography, where it's like more that like delicate painterly kind of type, as opposed to like the harshness that, you know, can be from, you know, taking sunset pictures with like the extra drama. I feel like when it's a little softer. But I'm just trying to find my way in the landscape photography world, because I like this style, like this dreamy look. But yeah, I always shoot at more of like a low aperture and have things blurred in the background. But I'm kind of like finding my style so that you know, everything that you want to see is like more pronounced in the background, and give the depth as well.
Yeah, it's really, really great depth of field in this one. So I have a question. I see a staircase that goes up in between the tower and the rocks. What does that lead to? Do you know?
I wish that I knew, but I'm pretty sure that the tower itself is private property, but the property around it is not.
Okay.
So you can take pictures there, but I think there was a limit as to how far you can go. And I always like dance really finely on the line between what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. So we didn't go up there.
Well, just remember, you're a photographer, and none of the rules of trespassing apply to you or any of us.
Good point.
You're allowed to trespass.
I do want to say, I love how the clouds kind of mimic the space like of the land mass behind the tower.
Isn't that crazy?
Cool. It was, yeah, it's pretty cool that it just kind of went around. I don't know. It was magical.
I know, it really was like so magical. Like you said, it like kind of just goes up the exact way that the like the hill in the background goes.
Yeah, very cool. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much for including me. I think this is so fun.
Great. Hope to see you in the future as well.
Thank you.
Where are you located, Terry?
I actually live in East Islip, believe it or not.
I did speak to you. I did speak to you. Okay,
I'm so close to you guys.
I remember you now.
I know I have to come and check everything out, but it's really beautiful. And I love that you are incorporating people from all over the country.
Yeah, yeah, it's important. It's important.
All right. So, Joanne, would you
Yeah,
like to talk about any one of your pieces?
sure, sure. What do I have?
Where
Oh,
are
I remember.
here?
Yeah, okay, this one. Block Island North Light. So I'm a boater. My husband and I, we boat. We do a good amount of boating. This was leaving Block Island Harbor. I forget the name of the main harbor. We were heading from Block Island out to. We're going back up to Rhode Island, I believe, that day. And in leaving, we had hiked this beach the day before around the back of it. And I just was just so, lighthouses are always such a great coastal theme, right? But we were, tugging out, taking our time out with the boat, and the clouds were just perfect over this landmass. The lighthouse, the dunes, everything about it, and then all of a sudden, this beautiful white egret goes flying by, and I just snapped it, on high shutter speed, just boom, 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 jumped, took a bunch of shots. And what I did was when I took this into to process and post production, I did throw a soft filter over this just to get a little bit of extra softness on those clouds, and kind of soften the contrast just a little bit. And I felt that it just added to the image. I'm very good with my horizons, my rule of thirds. I try to make sure that I have a lot of those elements when I put the camera up to my face. But having that egret fly by just made the scene. If that egret wasn't there, it's just a lighthouse shot, right? So I really thought that the elements of coastal were here, and that's why I submitted. We have the lighthouse, we have the water, we have the dunes, we have a seabird, an egret. So that's why I submitted this piece. And yeah, so I'm fortunate.
Excellent.
I do get to travel a lot, and this was one of those experiences off the boat with my Sherpa.
There you go.
And the
You have one
other
more the other way.
piece I have,
There you go.
okay, this was in Charleston, South Carolina, the marshes. Jessica and I did a workshop down in South Carolina about 3 or 4 years ago. And we did a morning where we went out to Boneyard Beach before dawn on a boat. And this was on the way back. We were standing around the dock, and we were waiting, there's a crowd of folks, and waiting for this one and that one, and everybody kind of gets situated before we can fully get leave. And I'm just playing around with my camera, and at this moment I came away with 3 amazing shots. This was one of them, and I didn't think I would love this, but I love this. I just love the empty space in the foreground, with with the calmness of the water, and then again those leading lines of the marsh that kind of bring me into the scene. And just a touch of clouds, but that little pier that's sticking out with the American flag hanging off the side of it, just kind of caught my attention. So this was one of a few pieces that I shot. Another 2 pieces that I shot that morning was they're actually black and whites, and I call them Above Water 1 and 2, and it's reflections of the reeds of the marsh in the water. The water was so still, so the reeds sticking out of the top, and then the reflection in the water, and I converted those to black and whites, and those are a couple of my best sellers that I have available. But this area, Charleston, South Carolina, if you ever get an opportunity to go down, don't do it in May. It's way too hot. But go down, enjoy. It's a great city, and there's tons and tons of photography opportunities. The plantation.
We'll most likely, yeah, I'm thinking we'll most likely get Charleston back on our calendar at some point and do another tour in that area. And it's always fun to travel with fellow photographers because we all see something different and find the beauty throughout. So we'll be there.
This was just a fun shot that turned out to be something that I actually, you know how it is with your camera, right? You're walking around with it, especially if you're on a workshop or photo tour, you're snapping away. And you know, I think when I snapped this, it was just an ordinary snap. It's like, oh, it's a nice scene, just click, click, you know, right? But then I bring it back into post-production and I start going through my files and I'm like, wow, there was something very intriguing about this. And maybe it was the softness of the blues and the greens and the contrast. But you know, I felt this also, knowing the Juror being Holly, uh, Gordon, I wanted to bring something different to the table, something outside of the ocean. You know, and this is coastal. This is the coastline of the Carolinas. So that's
Excellent.
why I
Well done.
that. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. All right, and we have, let's see, we have Mary Ann who's looking to join.
This one.
I think, yeah, okay. No, I was just trying to see if you were muted or not. All right. So let's find your work. Nope, went too far. What was the image of?
It's next one there. Yeah.
This one, black and white?
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
good.
yeah, love this. This is great too. Look at the leading lines on this. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, actually, I do fine art travel photography, and when I put this photo in, I thought it was just water, Long Island images, but and this is where my brother used to live, in Robin's Nest, and it was right off his deck actually, so it was pretty easy, and that's it.
Excellent. Well done. Well, thank you for sharing. You know, the leading lines in here are great. I love that you converted it to black and white. And, you know, to have the soft lines here, but then have that nice darker tones back here really helps to pull you in. And basically the line of the water with the line here of the really like the dune line there, it just helps to make like this nice triangle framing within the frame. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Good eye.
It's a good conversion. It's very difficult with beach sand to convert to black and white and really pull out, you know, some of the detail, you know, with the contrast and the dunes, which you've done very nicely. It's a very great job.
Thank you.
Where was this now?
Robin's Nest on Fire Island.
Where is that?
Where is it? Between Atlantique and right next door to Atlantique, actually.
Okay.
And Lonelyville, I think, is on the other side. Yeah.
Nice. Very pretty. Isn't Long Island gorgeous?
Yeah, I love it. I'm from there originally. I live in San Diego now.
Oh,
but I miss it.
Yeah, we're very lucky to live where we live. You know, speaking as a Long Islander, I know we have people from all over the country on our Zoom tonight. So, but I just love. I've done a lot of traveling, and the beaches on Long Island are they're hard to beat. They're hard to beat. They're beautiful.
Yep.
So Jess, why don't you talk about your piece, and then I think we'll move into the award.
The winners? Do you think people want to hear the winners?
They might. They might.
The suspense. I love it.
Yeah, I love this.
So this is one of my captures. It was, I want to say it was like an approaching storm or a storm that was just leaving, and it was obviously after sunrise. I just happened to be wandering on the beach, and the scene just kind of like unfolded in front of me, and I got down low to create the unique perspective, and I used the water line here to kind of create a leading line into the scene, and I made sure that the lighthouse was in it. But really these rays of light that I was trying to get, but it was hard. I just love it. And I just feel like this shot is a wee bit magical for me in that moment. It just, I don't know, I just had a calling to go to the beach, and I did it, and this is what was presented. So I love being a photographer and having those moments where like, you know what, let me go check it out. Let me go see what's happening, and to go down to the shore and see this. This was wonderful.
What time of year was that? Was this in the winter?
Yeah, that's a good question. It definitely wasn't
There's nobody
warm.
at the beach.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't warm out. I don't know if it was more of a fall shot rather than winter, but it was definitely cold, or at least.
Yeah. And I love that there's no footprints in the sand. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a lucky moment.
Love that.
I know, pet peeve. But yeah, I mean, look at these birds. They were all over the place. I actually had a second capture of this where I positioned myself a little bit further looking at the ocean, and the rays of light came out a little bit stronger, but there was a seagull that was flying by right at the perfect time. So that was another great capture in the same moment, or same time frame. So pretty cool. It's always fun to see what magic you capture when you're out and about.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think before we jump into announcing winners, I just want to remind everybody that Holly does, all jurors, review all images without knowing who the maker is. Okay, so she's choosing all jurors when we do our open calls. The jurors are given a blind selection of entries, and they choose based on what they feel fits the theme that that the maker has presented something for them to really be proud of when we could do these exhibits like this. So just understand that going in, that there's no favoritism whatsoever. Whenever entries come in to Long Island Photo Gallery, we ask that you do not put watermarks on them. If watermarks are on there, we ask you to remove them and resubmit, so that it's truly a blind selection. So I see we have Kathy Massey with us tonight. Kathy is getting ready. Come Sunday night, I'm going to be giving, well, probably Monday morning, Kathy. I'm gonna be giving Kathy a folder full of artwork for the upcoming exhibit for Portals. Kathy's going to jury that for us. I'm very excited to have her do so for that exhibit. So Kathy, you up for the challenge?
I'm up for it. I hope you're getting lots of entries.
Yeah, we're getting a good amount. I think, so, you do something like coastal, and that's a real easy topic. So sometimes we have to try and get our photographers to kind of, get the wheels going, get the wheels of going with how do I present. I even had a problem with pulling together my work for Portals. I mean, I went like Keith was saying, which are my favorite ones? Which one should I submit? Because the idea is to try and get selected, right? So you're gonna have a good time.
There's a question here. Does the work need to be framed? If you're selected, yes, it is going to be in a physical gallery. The selections.
Yes, I didn't see that, but yes, the work does need to be framed. And in the when we make the announcement for who's been selected for Portals, we will have all the particulars on sizes and the drop-off requirements, because we are displaying this Portals exhibit in the Huntington Art Center. So we are working together with the proprietor there to utilize their space. So we want to, their wishes are part of what we have to do. So, Kathy also helped us get in there, which thank you very much. So we're excited for it.
And it's also an added bonus that this exhibit is going to be on during the Huntington Village Art Walk, which is heavily, a lot of people attend that. It's a big event in Huntington, so that you get a lot of visibility for your work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great start for our circuit series of exhibits. Our first one outside of Islip, which is great. I'm excited for it. All right, Jess, what do you think? You ready to announce some winners?
I guess we could. All right.
Oh, wait, I have somebody here.
Wait, what?
Did Beeg? How do I pronounce your name?
That's Beeg. It's short for Steve Beegler.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
How you doing?
All right.
My picture is Seagull.
How are you today?
Yep, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this shot.
Excellent.
How
did you bribe the seagull?
This is on Long Island. Actually, it's for those on Long Island that are of a certain vintage would remember the Oak Beach Inn, as in Oak Beach Inn. That's literally in the parking lot of the Oak Beach Inn, or they made a park out of it. And my wife and I are contributing photographers for the Audubon Society, so we always go down there to check a one of the osprey nests that's right there. And it's very convenient to park and sit on a bench and take pictures of the osprey. And I always try to pick the bench where I can get the Robert Moses Bridge in the background, because I literally anticipate a shot somewhat like this. And I just happened to get lucky. This particular seagull looked like he was doing a balance beam routine or taking a very formal bow. And I just liked the way it was framed with the Robert Moses Bridge in the background. And as Andrew said before, being a photographer, it's you have to take advantage of the opportunities as they arise. So when there was nothing going on with the ospreys, I was always on the lookout to see if something would be framed with the bridge in the background, and the seagull obliged me this time. And part of taking bird pictures is a lot of times you take pictures of common birds and you try to present them in an uncommon manner. And there's nothing more common at the seashore than a herring gull. So, but I thought it was a unique pose, and I tried to distill it down to the element where it was most elemental. It's just literally the railing and the bridge and the bird, nothing else to distract from the subject. So that's kind of my philosophy. When I take shots, I want to distill it so nothing distracts from the subject. So that's the story on that one.
First, excellent clarity in the eye of the bird.
That's key. If you don't have clarity in the eye,
that's key, as you know. The rim lighting is fantastic. I would title this The Olympian, because you nailed it. This looks like, an Olympian doing the balance beam. You know how they flip and they land like that. It's an amazing shot.
You're giving titles.
Regarding eye clarity, I mean, you have to focus on the eyes. I mean, if you don't have, if you're photographing anything alive and you don't have the eyes in focus, you don't have the picture.
I agree with you.
I agree. Yes.
Awesome.
I'm very honored that I was selected to be in with the rest of you excellent photographers. I mean, it's some amazing work. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for entering. Appreciate it. Okay, anybody else?
All right.
Otherwise, drum roll.
Right. You just have to see me do some magic. So hold on, just close your eyes for a moment. Just hold on. Just don't watch. Okay,
Don't
ready, set, everyone.
Okay,
You can open their eyes in just a moment. Okay. Everyone, you can open your eyes. We're good.
She's good.
I know,
Huh?
the fun of technology. See, just like magic. See, it just shows up. All right, so welcome everyone. Here is the final moment where we get to find out who won honorable mentions. Third, second, first place winners. So this is all based on our selected juror, Holly Gordon, and these were her choices for the exhibit. So without any further ado, we'll dig in. Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
All right, little info on Holly. Just a little bit more suspense. Holly Gordon is a fine art and documentary photographer who is creating breakthrough work in creative art photography. So, with that said, first honorable mention goes to Rick Jack, Watching the Waves.
Oh, it's a great one. Is Rick in the room? I think I saw him.
You are trying to raise your hand, unmute yourself. I'm looking.
Hello there.
Hi, Rick.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah, thanks for letting me enter this. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
This was taken at the inlet, Shinnecock Inlet, with a 600 millimeter. They were probably about a quarter of a mile away. And when the guy showed up with his dogs, I just, took the image.
Beautiful.
Great
But
crest
thank you.
with the waves. Beautiful.
Nothing was done to it except cropping. It just was beautiful conditions.
Wow.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next. Roll. Goes to Rich Labella. His piece is titled Making It. So this is one of those great action shots. I'm sure he's far on the beach, Nice zoom lens, just waiting for the moment. Rich, are you here? Do you want to say anything about your piece?
I don't think Rich is in the room, but I've
Okay.
spoken to him about this shot. This was last summer. They have a surfing competition in Long Beach every
Mhm.
year. And he went down there and did a bunch of photographing. And he was so excited with this piece because he said it looked like the surfer's looking right at him. And anyway, it's great. It's a great capture. I mean, again, these action shots are not easy to grab, as all you photographers know. The clarity is there, and the stop action, which is great. So congratulations, Rich, wherever you are tonight.
All right.
Oh,
Next honorable mention goes to Amy Medina, or DanRabbit. And her piece is titled Ready to Trounce, aka Aquaman. So this is one of those it's just amazing captures. And I know I'm always a big fan of this one. There's just so much to the scene itself.
Yeah, we had this in the gallery in like a 55-inch print. Just amazing. And the guy does look like Aquaman. She told me the story of this photo, that her and her daughter went down to the beach. This was either right after or right before one of the Superstorm Sandy or one of the major hurricanes. And she said to her daughter, we're either going to witness the most incredible swimming event ever or somebody's death, because this guy was just insane to even go in the surf. That's how you can see how crazy that is. But he went in. He went in, he survived, and he came out. So good for him. Good capture, Amy.
Very good. All right. Next. Third place goes to Rich DiScalfani. His piece is titled Fire Island Landscape.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. I don't think Rich is here either.
No? Oh, man.
Oh, bam. Boo-hoo.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm just looking at this, like, is that like a bones or something? And
so I believe the lifeguards will collect like pieces of driftwood and whatever big that's washed up on the shore, and they kind of make like a piling. And I think that might be one of these where it's just random items or driftwood that wash up on the shoreline.
Wow. Looks like a whale.
So yeah, if you see over here, you have like someone's statue that might have like got destroyed during like Sandy or another storm and ended up coming up on shore. And then you have all these different like pieces of wood that would probably driftwood. And it makes for a wonderful print.
Interesting.
All right, so
congratulations, Rich.
Second place goes to Bobbie Turner for her piece Norwegian Harbor 2.
Yeah, I just love this. Love the colors. I love the processing on this. Just pretty. Bobbie, are you with us tonight?
If you are, unmute yourself.
I think she is. Bobbie. She was. Oh, there you are. Can you unmute? Let me unmute you. Let me help you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Good.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, this was taken in Norway. The very top of Norway, very north of the Arctic Circle. Wow. We had a cruise along the Norwegian coast, and there were some off-boat excursions to these small little fishing villages. And this one, it just amazed me. It was so picture perfect, like a painting.
Yeah.
That I just fell in love with it. And I couldn't imagine people living here all year round. But they told us that this little particular inlet doesn't freeze up, even though they're north of the Arctic Circle, it doesn't freeze over in the winter because of the jet stream. No, the water that comes up and keeps the water warm. So that was amazing. But in post-processing, I just added some little filters, color, just to offset the view. But yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about the Norwegian coast.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, very pretty. I guess these are all fishing boats, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So this village survives on
So
that
just
trade.
Just,
Wow.
yeah, amazing.
Wow. How long ago was this shot taken?
The right before COVID. That was my last trip before COVID.
Wow. It's really great.
Dying to go away again.
Yeah, it's almost
hear
done.
ya.
We're getting there.
Excellent. All right.
Congratulations, Bobbie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
All right,
you.
drum roll, Joanne. You ready? You can hear that. First place goes to Robbie K for Van Gogh Beach.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
Very nice.
So wonderful perspective. Robbie, I don't know if you're here, but we would love to hear from you if you are.
This
See
looks
Joanne,
like
DC?
drone shot. Is Robbie here? I don't see Robbie.
I don't see her either. So yeah, great perspective. I love drones just to get that unique perspective, bird's eye view of what's happening below, and it creates some magical moments. And what I love about this is the way it's cropped, just showing you a little bit of the sand area, and then just showing the movement of the water, how you have like the white that obviously the water that's breaking, but the like that teal color that just kind of moves throughout the scene. So it really creates a wonderful abstract element to the scene.
And great title. And you could definitely see the Van Gogh influence in the water. It's pretty. Yeah, it's very, very pretty. Well, Robbie, congratulations. I wish you were with us to accept this wonderful honor. But yeah, it's a really great exhibit. Really great exhibit. So just as a reminder, yeah, congratulations to everybody. I think all of you are winners. When you get a chance, please go to the website and click on that online exhibits, click on Coastal, and go through these images one by one, just as we did tonight, and spend some time with them. It's a great way to break up your day. We all have things that we have to do work-wise, but get onto the website, take a peek at the images, and enjoy. And if you have an opportunity to hunt down the photographer, we'll help you find them. If you want to send them a nice message or a nice note, please do so.
We do have a question here. It was about our gallery. So yeah, our physical location, we did close. We decided not to renew our lease, and that allowed us to have a little bit more of flexibility in displaying in a more larger scale on the island. However, the online side is still rocking and rolling, and we will be doing more virtual exhibits in the near future. We are actually in the process of getting a few themes in place. So we'll be sending out emails probably in a couple of weeks or so with the next set of open calls. So definitely stay tuned.
I think that once we get past the deadline for portals, which is Sunday night, we'll start to have a series of emails that'll go out announcing, hopefully what we have planned the end of 2021 and into 2022. Some virtual, some physical. We also want to do some networking events with you photographers locally. And also we have a couple of workshops that we're trying to pull together locally and maybe off the island as well. So the brick and mortar may be quiet and closed at this time, but the company, Long Island Photo Gallery, is alive and well, as is its sister company, Photo Art Pavilion. We want to continue to be a voice for you photographers, you art photographers, for ourselves. We think it is a medium of art that deserves its own place. And I think we've done that over the years with Long Island Photo Gallery, dedicated to photography. And now we're doing that on a national level with Photo Art Pavilion. So stay connected with us, please. And your ideas, your wishes, and collaboration help us move forward collectively for all of us in a positive way. So that's what we're looking to do. And we appreciate your support.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations again.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you at the next one. Night, night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.